Want to know one way you might be setting yourself up for failure with your nutrition and health? If you've been stuck in yo-yo dieting, have tried everything under the sun, but you can't seem to stick with anything, then you might be unintentionally self-sabotaging your nutrition goals with this destructive thinking pattern. And that is all or nothing thinking. When people come to me for coaching, this is one of the most common things they need to overcome in order to stick with health habits long enough for them to make a difference and impact on their lifestyle. You're familiar with the drill. You have a bad day with some setbacks to your eating, or you miss a workout and suddenly you feel like, what's the point? As though all of your progress has been undone. The truth is, this thinking is counterproductive to changes you've wanted to make to your behavior. Watch to the end of this video and subscribe to my channel to find out how I help clients break free from this all or nothing mentality and create a sustainable, healthy approach to living a more happy, confident life. Hey friends, if you're new here, my name is Christina and I'm a nutrition coach. On this channel, we talk about all things eating skills, behavior change, and body image while keeping lots of fun in life. All or nothing thinking, also known as black or white thinking, or even perfectionism, is a way that you're actually setting yourself up for failure. It's so pervasive and common that it's keeping people stuck. In my work as a nutrition coach and in my own personal journey with nutrition and fitness, I've thought long and hard about how to break free from this pervasive and unhelpful mindset. I want to make it as simple as possible to help you do the same. As humans, we can acknowledge that no one is perfect, but yet we set these really hard and extreme standards for ourselves with very audacious goals, with hopes of making meaningful changes to our lives. There's a disconnect when we think quitting is the best alternative to not doing something perfectly. We are human, so having rules and extremes may seem like a good way to keep us on the proverbial track towards success. But it turns out they're not that helpful. Life is too complicated, full of ups and downs to have rules to fit every situation of life. Our success is a lot more contingent on how flexible we can be with our expectations. How well we can scale our nutrition depends on a few variables. Some weeks we have more capacity than others to devote time and attention to nutrition and workouts. Some seasons of life have more emotional demands, which might look like prioritizing certain things over others. So having the flexibility to change those things makes a big difference on how well you can actually stick with something. The key to success is really just not quitting. More on that in this video here. If you struggle with eating a lot of sweets and it's starting to feel out of control, you might hear yourself say something like, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna quit all the sweets and eat perfectly. At a first glance, it sounds like a helpful thought that's encouraging you to make healthier food choices. But the word perfect sets up an impossible standard. It reinforces all or nothing thinking or sees everything as black and white. It was perfect or it was bad. If your performance falls short of perfect, then you see yourself as a failure. When I work with a client, I like to identify areas where they may be unintentionally applying this mentality, point out thoughts and behaviors that are driving it. It requires being willing to put aside this mindset as we embark on the journey of learning new skills. Many times when checking in with the client, even months into working together, I'll hear them say, well, it wasn't perfect by any means. And I get to gently remind them that we really weren't going for perfect anyway. But my point is, we internalize it so deeply that it takes time to overcome. Instead, I want to invite you into a different approach. I've used this metaphor before, but I just love it. It can be helpful to look at habit building or eating skills as more of a dimmer switch than an on-off switch. What does that mean? With an on-off switch, there are only two options, on or off. There is no in between. In the realm of nutrition coaching, after finishing off a pint of ice cream the night before, a client might say, I have to quit eating sweets completely. That's what will help me reach my goals. I will never eat ice cream again. Now that's really going all in. That's the light switch. What I like to do instead is first find your starting place. How many treats or sweets are you currently eating, and go from there. When we think about a dimmer switch with this example, a light can be on 100%, off completely, or somewhere in the middle. What would scaling the amount of sweets you eat look like at first? It's important for you to take a look at what is something you can practice on your very best day with everything going your way, and then what about on your worst day? What would your capacity allow for on that day? Most of the time you're going to be somewhere in the middle, but it takes some practice, awareness, and intentionality. We can also apply this dimmer switch mindset to our workouts. I was just talking with a client the other day about how easy it is to fall into that all or nothing thinking with workouts. Most of the people I work with desire to incorporate some kind of movement into their habits. Some of my clients have very ambitious goals, saying, unless I work out for 45 minutes to an hour for 5 to 6 days a week, then what's the point? But what if you're a mom of 2 littles and just getting 10 minutes of movement is the best you can do for right now? Or what if you feel sick and have to take a day off? Or what if your meeting at work runs long and you don't have time for a full hour, but you can still do 30 minutes? Something is better than nothing, so that's where practicing flexibility comes in. If we can learn to check in with ourselves and be a little less rigid, our ability to develop lifelong habits becomes easier. This is about managing our expectations. If we learn to give ourselves grace and not expect too much, we will always progress forward. That might be one step you can take today to reflect on the expectations you have of yourself. What are some ways you can play on the same team as yourself and show support? If you have less energy to devote to your eating behavior change, do less, but don't quit. Check in with yourself and your capacity each week. Look ahead and see if your expectations may need adjusting, but ultimately have grace for yourself and take it one day at a time. It's okay to be human and not be 100% perfect with your nutrition and workouts all the time. I want you to think about this light switch versus dimmer switch metaphor with something you're working on right now with your nutrition and fitness. If you really want to get more sleep, try going to bed 15 minutes earlier than you currently are, rather than saying you have to go to bed at 8 p.m. from now on or else. If you want to drink more water, start by adding one more glass for a while, and then go from there. Let's break free from this all or nothing thinking and use the dimmer switch to keep moving forward each day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more eating skills videos just like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions on how to apply this to your life, drop me a line. I would love to help.